So, this is awkward. I know this is sort of an interesting arrangement, but I want to first and foremost express my tremendous gratitude to the school for making it happen. Right after hearing that I was chosen to be the Watson commencement speaker, my wonderful girlfriend asked, "Hey, isn't that ceremony on Saturday?" "Yes, Danielle, it is on Saturday." Great. The problem is that Saturday is the Jewish Sabbath, a day that, as a central part of my Orthodox upbringing, is free of all electronics, like, say, a microphone, as well as writing, driving, cooking, and lots of other things. It's a time to relax with family and friends and forget about the week. And it's a big part of my life. My family walked here this morning, and we will walk to Chabad at noon for the traditional Shabbat lunch. So I contacted my high school principal, Rabbi Harkstark, who consulted with other rabbis and Jewish sources, and we talked through my options. Apparently, some microphones are allowed, but we would need to ensure that no lights or circuits would be engaged as a result of my speaking. I contacted Katie Ellis in Communications and Marketing to tell her that I would love to speak, but that I had some slight restrictions. Immediately, she began exploring the matter, and it turns out that we could get the right kind of microphone, but there's no way to ensure that no lights are being engaged on the soundboard as I speak. Thankfully, the school then offered to pre-record the speech and show it at graduation, which I agreed would be tasteful. So right now it is Wednesday, and I still have a final tomorrow. But also right now it is Saturday, and I am standing awkwardly at the podium wondering if my voice always sounds this high. I am inexpressibly thankful to the school for going above and beyond to accommodate this central part of my life, and for ensuring that I could still deliver a meaningful speech to the Watson class of 2015. I know it'll be meaningful because I get as many tries as I want. On that note, I'd also like to thank the faculty, staff, and leadership at this university for everything they've done for us. I always tell people that Binghamton is the absolute best place if you want to do something really different with your education and need a college crazy enough to support you. I also want to thank the class of 2015 for sharing this beautiful moment with me, and to the friends and family who made it happen. I always thought that parents deserve more congratulations on graduation day, because I went through hell for 4 years, and you went through it for 22. Thank you sincerely. I want to speak today about being great. Early on in my college career, I faced the question of whether I could be great, or if I was just normal. Not in the sense of social skills or personality or anything like that. I think that ship has sailed. But what I wanted to know is whether I could be truly great in my accomplishments in my career. Looking around at the vastity of people my age, this seemed like a simple unlikelihood. Unfortunately, we can't all become superstars like Kevin Federline or the children from Spy Kids, my favorite documentary. I know this seems like a sort of empty question, but for me, it was by far the biggest factor in how I thought about my future. If I was truly exceptional, then I should ignore the past of my peers and pursue the road to greatness as I saw fit. If not, then I may as well relax, choose a safe major, as if anyone is safe, and enjoy life. From the ground, it just seems risky and delusional to set out for success by ignoring pretty much every piece of conventional career wisdom. It even sounds really stupid to say. You can imagine how stupid I must have felt to be the one trying to ignore this constant outpouring of warnings, or self-doubt, depending on the results. There's a powerful phenomenon of suggestion that I think plays a key role in developing these doubts. The analogy I like to use is that orientation alcohol training we had before freshman year. It asks you if you've ever been so hungover that you had to take a shot the next morning to feel better. And freshman me is just sitting there like, that is a great idea. Does that work? I think it's kind of the same way with how we're brought up to think about ambition. Don't you think it's kind of weird that Disney Channel is always saying, don't listen to what other people are saying, follow your dreams. And it's like, I was going to follow my dreams before you told me that everyone says I suck. I literally had never heard that until you told me just now that everyone thinks I suck. So, my question remained. Should I follow my gut instinct path to greatness, or do I reject that path as unlikely and try to emulate the past success that seemed to work well? I think it's tempting in college to look up at the job hierarchies and speculate as to where we might land. Busy executive, balanced middle manager, lovable old person who faxes everyone inappropriate jokes. The hierarchies themselves seem to establish as a universal truth of industry that everyone ascends to the rightful place. These hierarchies are everywhere. Business, academia, the food pyramid. I'm not here to tell you if you work hard you can increase your place in the pyramid. I'm here to tell you that you have no place at all, but in a good way. In the way that the biggest thing stopping you from winning a Nobel is the belief that you probably won't. Here's a general rule. If you decide ahead of time that where you will likely end up, you'll end up there. Not in a good, inspirational way, in a bad way. Let's say I arbitrarily latch onto the idea of working at a hedge fund. I'll probably network, study finance to get there. I'll do the requisite steps. But more importantly, I'll do nothing more when I feel like I'm on track. It certainly won't feel as worthwhile to study physics, biology, art, or any other interest that doesn't directly push me toward a hedge fund. I'll have already opted out of my instinctive path to greatness because I'm guessing it's unlikely. And I'll be fine with the idea of working at a hedge fund because it seems doable. I'd figure I'm just not a Nobel Prize kind of guy, so I might as well relax and act the part. This is one of the interesting lenses through which we see the world. Why do we see great opportunities before us and ask, who am I to succeed? Why do we see genuine walkways to greatness and ignore them, doubting they truly exist? Why? Because there isn't room in the greatness boat for everyone? Is my greatness boat exactly the same greatness boat as everyone else's? I'm not telling you to latch onto a crazy dream and pursue it. I'm telling you to latch onto nothing. Loosen up. Let your instincts guide you. Deep inside, you know what you need to do next to achieve your greatness. Listen to that voice. It might be buried deep, but I know it's in there, because that voice is just you, minus the rankings and insecurities and assumed likelihoods. That voice is 20 plus years of experience, and it knows you better than you know you, and it will never tell you to cruise. When I was a freshman, I wanted to add a finance degree onto my computer science degree, but I was freaked out by the idea. I didn't know anyone who had already done it, and everyone I spoke to gave me stern warnings against it. If I remember correctly, a peer advisor told me that I would die, and I am 90% sure that they were not correct. Also, I do not believe that is in the peer advisor employee handbook. When decision time came, only one thought pushed me over that hurdle. I can do this. I've looked at the curricula. They seem all right. I'm going to go with what I feel on this one. In junior year, considering a math major, I heard the same warnings and moved forward with the same thought. This feels doable. This is what I need to do. I never had any master plan so I could feel extra great about my degree program. Just sort of happened. I reflected every few weeks, did what felt right in my stomach. This is the reason I listen to the voice in my head. The voice tells me when to read up and when to act quickly. It tells me not to drop out of school and start distributing my mixtape. It tells me when to ask for help and when to try something for myself. The voice also tells me how I need to strive for my greatness, no matter how my peers pursue theirs. Class of 2015, I know you pretty well. I know that deep down, you strive for greatness. And deep down, you know that you're different from everyone else. Binghamton is a petri dish for our kind of people. My friends at the Ivies had 4 years to have it pounded into them that they probably aren't the best. It's hard not to just cruise in that environment. We haven't. Binghamton is a place that cultivates that deep ambition, that I'm different from other students, I'm going to show them what I can do kind of scrappiness. My message to you is twofold. First, remember the college that made you this way, the faculty, staff, and students who opened you up to your own greatness. Second, remember how lucky you are to live in a world that's afraid to pursue greatness. Go out and take yours. Good luck, and Shabbat Shalom.